Required reading for Conversation 1. Central Asia highlights. Region: all independent republics: Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, and Tajikistan. Area: 3,994,300 square kilometers, including some of the most sparsely populated regions in the world. Population: 32 million people, including more than 100 different ethnic groups, from Germans and Austrians to Tibetans and Koreans. History: former Soviet republics. Kyrgyz Republic. Population 5.72 million. Political structure: parliamentary democracy. Land: 80% mountainous regions with altitudes ranging from 394 meters to almost 7,439 meters. Gross domestic product per capita: $3,400. Tajikistan. Population 8.05 million. Political structure: presidential republic, president, head of state, and head of government. Land: 93% mountainous regions with altitudes ranging from 300 meters to almost 7,500 meters. Gross domestic product per capita: $2,700. Kazakhstan. Population 17.95 million. Political structure: presidential republic, president, head of state, and nominates head of government. Land: 12% mountainous regions with altitudes ranging from 132 meters to almost 7,010 meters. Gross domestic product per capita: $24,000, the wealthiest country in the region. Culture. Religion. Islam is the most common religion, however, Soviet secularism exists. Central Asian Muslims are Sunni, although there are Shia minorities in Tajikistan. Buddhism and Zoroastrianism were the major faiths prior to the arrival of Islam. Zoroastrian influence is still felt today, i.e., Nowruz celebrations. Russian Orthodox is also practiced in Kyrgyz Republic and Kazakhstan. Society is more strongly influenced by religious practices in Tajikistan. Cuisine. Basic methods of preparation, main ingredients, common dishes, and predominant cultural traditions of Islam all reflect the enriching exchange along the Silk Road. Main ingredients used include mutton, rice, cumin, coriander, cilantro, dill, nuts, tea, dried fruits, and yogurt. Customary dishes include soups and stews, pilafs, noodles, steamed dumplings, grilled meats on skewers, flatbread, and savory pastries. The thriving culture of Iran was the primary influence on Tajik culture and language. Kyrgyz Republic and Kazakhstan was more influenced by Mongol and Turkic culture. 150 years of Soviet power in region has created issues of cultural heritage and identity. The post-independence attempt to create nation-states has led to a strong sense of nationalism. Land. Extremely large region of varied geography, including high passes and mountains, vast deserts, and especially treeless, grassy steppes. Main languages: Kazakh, Kyrgyz, Uzbek, Tajik.
And I'm from London in the UK. Although I'm not Central Asian, I spent 5 years of my childhood living in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, when my parents were working abroad, and I also spent 2 years working there as a young professional most recently. And therefore I feel like I can give some insights onto what life is like, especially in Kyrgyzstan. I spent most of my time living in Bishkek, the capital city of Kyrgyzstan, which is a modernized, urbanized, and fairly Western city. In recent years, the centre has undergone a huge construction boom, and there are lots of cafes, shops, even shopping malls, and many young people spend their time hanging out there. There are also lots of green spaces and parks in the city, which are also frequented by people during weekends or evenings. One of their regular hobbies is going for a summer stroll. Kyrgyzstan does have a huge rural-urban divide. So outside Bishkek, many of the cities are more like villages, and do not have even huge blocks of flats. People mainly live in smaller houses, whereas in Bishkek, people mainly live in Soviet-style apartment blocks. Kyrgyzstan is a fairly capital-centric city. Many people living in other towns will come to Bishkek for access to better healthcare or to better education. So, for universities, students often move from their villages to Bishkek. I attended primary school in Bishkek, in a Russian-style school, which is fairly typical of most of the schools in the capital. School was done in shifts, so you would either attend in the morning or in the afternoon, as class sizes were too big to fit all the students in. Generally, students have very little or no choice over what subjects they study, and they have to learn everything, from Kyrgyz history to chemistry to survival skills even. Generally, a lot of the learning is done by rote. When I attended school, you had to memorize huge chunks of prose, poetry or formulas off by heart, quite different to the Western style education system. Other than school, most pupils attend a large number of extracurricular activities. I attended music school, where you'd have singing lessons, theory lessons, and also instrument lessons. Extracurricular activities in sport are also quite popular, with a lot of children attending martial arts lessons or more adventurous sports like horse riding. There's a lot of hiking. Football is also very popular, especially among young teenage boys, who often follow a lot of the European fixtures and Premier Leagues. Kyrgyzstan has some striking mountain scenery, and going to the mountains is quite popular as there are many scenic backdrops. Skiing, hiking and other mountain sports are also popular among some young people. Most of the Central Asian countries are quite similar in context, so these perspectives about Kyrgyzstan would also apply to Tajikistan and Kazakhstan. However, all of them have quite different national and ethnic identities, encompassing music, food, and national poetry and culture. Hope this is useful. Good luck with the mentorship scheme.
Surface tension.
Somehow everyone knows where noodle is.
We're gonna talk about our flavors and our tongues. We're gonna explain you later. Right now, please take the time. We have tables over there.
Remember we talked about this, right? I love English class because every day I find out something that is new for me. I found out more about essays and...
Be patient. We don't start with cha-cha. We never start. We build up to cha-cha. You think
So let's think about what makes a quality university. The attributes that make a good university can be broken down into a few different areas, including the quality of faculty, the number of graduates who find jobs, innovative and relevant programs offered by the university, the design and caliber of the curriculum, the delivery of that curriculum by the faculty, and research produced by the university. Breaking some of these categories down even further, we see a trend that universities in Central Asia tend to be lacking in numerous areas. Take, for example, the number of faculty working at your university. Close to, if not 100% of the faculty members will have a PhD, and a PhD from a reputable university at that. They have one full-time job at the university, and while that may seem like an obvious fact, in Central Asia, most faculty possess between 3 to 5 jobs just to make ends meet. Further to that, based on extensive research done by UCA, there are 0 faculty in Tajikistan who have a PhD from a reputable university, 9 in Kyrgyzstan, and 70 in Kazakhstan. UCA's goal is to have 90% of faculty who have obtained PhDs. As previously mentioned, another extremely important qualifier for a good university is the percentage of graduates who find jobs in their field upon completion of their degree. This number is sadly extremely low in Central Asia, sitting at between 6 to 8%. Even with the inclusion of internships, this number remains low, as most internships just see the students doing admin work for the duration of their co-ops. UCA is currently partnering with companies to offer formal internships for students in years 2, 3, and 4 of their degrees. The final area that I'll be discussing is the curriculum. When building a university, one might assume that the curriculum is an easy issue to solve. Why not just take the curriculum from McMaster's Health Science program, Waterloo's engineering program, and the business program from Western? Unfortunately, when you try and import a curriculum from abroad wholesale, which many universities have attempted, you face a number of difficulties. You're firstly working with the assumption that the high school experiences and education received have been the same. You're teaching a pure English curriculum to students who are ESL. The curriculum has been designed for students in North America to work with their understandings and assumptions and their culture, not a student in Central Asia. These are just a few of the issues you might find with this strategy. UCA is partnering with top universities from around the world to not import, but tailor design curriculums for each of their 6 undergraduate programs for students in Central Asia. I spent some time discussing some of the challenges that UCA and other universities in Central Asia face with creating a quality university, but for more information, refer to pages 13 and 14 of your mentorship manual. And for more information on other quality universities in the area, please refer to pages 17 and 18. Thank you for listening.
So let's talk about bringing quality education to the rural areas of Central Asia. When we're talking about Central Asia, we're talking about the 3 countries, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Tajikistan. So to give some context, 95% of these countries are covered in mountains. 95%. More than half of the population, 65% of this population that are living in these countries are living in those rural areas, being in the mountains. So when you think about the quality of the life, the access to things that people in the urban areas are used to, 95% of the country is covered in mountains, and 65% of that country is living in those mountains. Being in a residential university campus, such as Nareen, Korog, or Tekeli, the setting that is offered to these students is a fully academically focused setting. So not just in the classroom, but also with the co-curricular activities that are offered outside the classroom. These locations in which the university campus is built, these are centers of intellectual and economic transformation, a very high degree of historical significance of these locations, which are right on where the Silk Route was historically. So we see these areas being very culturally and ecologically rich. So sure, bringing quality education to the rural areas of Central Asia may seem far-fetched and difficult and challenging, but we see it as a way in which we can really highlight the benefits of these areas and change the communities in which we're operating for a lifetime.
So why does it take 5 years to complete a UCA degree? First and foremost, in most countries around the world, high school education requires the completion of a grade 12 versus grade 11. This puts Central Asian students at a disadvantage when applying to international universities. One of UCA's key goals is to provide Central Asian high school graduates an opportunity to stay in the region and benefit from a world-class education. The only way to make this goal a reality is to make UCA's undergraduate program a 5-year degree program, which begins with a preparatory year. If you have successfully developed strong skills in English and math, you may wonder why you need to participate in UCA's preparatory program. In today's fast-paced, globally competitive world, a graduate degree is increasingly becoming a requirement. In our surveying of Central Asian students, a large majority want to pursue graduate studies abroad. When you apply for graduate studies, most programs will require you to have completed 16 years of study from grade 1 to grade 12, and then another 4 years at university. Most Central Asian students who go from grade 11 to a 3 or 4 year degree program fall 1 year short of the requirements necessary to enter the top universities in the world. Participating in UCA's preparatory program helps reduce this risk. Finally, it is important to realize that all of UCA's undergraduate degree specializations have a requirement of 3 work terms where UCA will place students in organizations for 8 to 12 weeks. All UCA students will also complete a 3-year-long project related to entrepreneurship, helping a real organization deal with a real problem, and a case writing project in conjunction with faculty. It will follow that upon graduation, UCA students will have almost 1 year of paid work experience more than their fellow graduates in Central Asia. A young Central Asian will be asking themselves, why would I attend a new university versus one that has been established over time? Many students believe that age and size are the best measures of a university's quality. Although they may be good measures, the better measures are outlined with the following questions. Do more than 90% of the faculty teaching majors and minors have PhDs? Does the university offer innovative programs that prepare students to be job ready? Is the curriculum practice-based? Do students have the opportunity to work in labs that are world-class? Are graduates equipped to find jobs? Is the graduate's level of English comparable to university graduates from English-speaking countries? Does the curriculum meet global standards yet is very relevant to local issues? Does the university have partnerships with some of the best universities in the world? Do the students get exposed to an international base of faculty? Does the university produce high-quality research that is published in international journals? Are faculty provided professional development around teaching and research? Do students get access to visiting faculty who are leaders in their field from around the world? Finally, does the library compare to the libraries in some of the best universities in the world? The answer to all of these questions with regard to UCA is yes.
And I'm ESL faculty at UCA, and today I will be talking about what is to be a teacher in Central Asian context and what are social functions teachers have in Central Asian societies. The first one is transmitter of knowledge. In this capacity, teachers were regarded as transmitters of knowledge, of a prescribed body of knowledge to students, and the learning process itself considered as a memorization of that knowledge. And to teach students' academic achievements were largely dependent on the teacher's ability to transmit that knowledge. And the second, I think, is more important or interesting topic is teachers' function as a judge over students' moral and ethical behavior. And as you know, during the Soviets, citizens were prohibited to practice their religion, and in the absence of an official religion, which is a major institution that influences citizens' morality, teachers acted as a substitute for that moral, to look over students' moral behavior. What is to be a teacher in a contemporary Central Asian society? And I said it's a quite challenging profession, because after the Kyrgyzstan, all Central Asian countries got their state independence, teaching, the status of teachers, the teachers were among professional groups which weren't recognized by the states. When I say that low salaries and poor working conditions, also I think that unfortunately in the societies like Central Asia, when persons' value in the society is assessed by the size of his pocket and by the size of his salary, teachers became among those professional groups that weren't as respected as they were before, even before the Soviets ended, during the Soviets. And that's why teachers, I think that when it comes to the advice or help, I think among young generation, teacher would be the last person sort of to consult in many in many Central Asian contexts, unfortunately.
Hi, my name is Bunyod and I'm a math faculty member at UCA. I want to talk briefly about Central Asian learners. The teacher-centered approach of teaching is very dominant at schools and even in higher institutions in Central Asia. Students from very young age are exposed to this approach of teaching, and this kind of shapes students' behavior, participation, and interaction in the classroom. Majority of students heavily rely on teachers' knowledge in instruction instead of engaging in independent learning and critical thinking. Majority of many students we have in the classroom, they are very shy, passive, and they play a reactive role instead of using their knowledge and capacities to generate new ideas, solving problems, and applying their knowledge into real life situations. Also, Central Asian learners believe that there is some kind of a wall between teacher and students. They believe that teachers are less approachable, and in the classroom they prefer to ask less questions. And also I should mention that graduating high school students we have today are very confused in terms of what they want to study in their university years, and also what they want to do afterwards. And because our Central Asian curriculum at schools, they don't help students with this making decisions with their future plan of study. And I think this is kind of a problem, because a lot of students are easily attracted to things they don't know what they want to study. They are easily attracted to programs, state-funded programs, or programs that offer full scholarships. Although they don't like that program, they easily attracted, and they waste 4 years of their time in a university, which is free, but afterwards they have a difficulty finding a job, or they have a difficulty with what they want to do, like in the future with that degree.
Universities in the region. On pages 17 and 18 of the training manual, you have been provided with the names and basic information of 7 universities in the 3 countries that the mentors are from. Please familiarize yourself with this information.